Tiger Talk. Flash Report.
Shout out to the Tough Tiger Talk Nation. We up in this thing. This is Big Q representing Tough Tiger Talk. We in this thing. Time for another episode of Tough Tiger Talk. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. By all means, feel free to share Tough Tiger Talk on all your social media feeds. We up in this thing, man. And this, once again, we got Greg Mack in here. We got Greg Mack in here talking about the LSU Tigers coming up this upcoming season and high expectations. So we're gonna play this right here for the family so y'all guys can hear what he's saying about the Tigers coming into this season and what is his expectations, but high expectations, and how could they not be as high as what they are after the first year. So let's get going, man, in this interview from Greg McElroy, getting his take about LSU being high in his top season. Well, he has them listed as number 5 in his top 25 preseason poll. This is his thoughts on the team. Here we go.
And at number 5, their week 1 opponent, the LSU Tigers. We all know that last year was a huge surprise. Nobody anticipated Brian Kelly winning the SEC West in year number 1. Nobody anticipated Jaden Daniels playing that well down the stretch. Granted, I know things didn't go his way against Georgia in the SEC championship game. I know he didn't play great against Texas A&M in the second to last game of the regular season, but the bowl game was great. Played great against Bama when they had to have it. Did some really nice things throughout the course of the season. That was year number 1. Let's not forget that. Year number 1, and it was a resounding success. Now you return arguably the best receiver core in the SEC, and you bring back an offensive line that is bookended by true freshmen. You're adding more, and they should be bigger, stronger, better than just about anyone in the league. Now, Georgia fans will push back and say, we have the best offensive line. Bama fans will push back and say, we have the best offensive line. How do y'all feel? I don't know, man. I look at LSU, and I think when they finally figured it out down the back half of the season and they settled in on the 2 bookend freshman tackles, think about how much better those guys are going to be here in year number 2. They solidified the front with big physical bodies. I think they're going to be in great shape up front. The only question I have is who gets the touches at running back and what's the pecking order going to look like there. Let's go to the defense side of the football. Harold Perkins is probably one of the scariest defensive players in America because he can line up off the ball. He can spy the quarterback. He can rush the passer on third down. You can't block him. I mean, goodness gracious, you're lucky if you can breathe on him. Just try. Whatever you got to do to protect your quarterback from number 40, you better do it. And last year, when you talked to their defensive coordinator, Matt House, he's like, man, to be honest with you, he doesn't even really know what he's doing yet. Like, wait till he knows what he's doing. It's like, hey, see ball, get ball, Harold, go get it, please. And he did it. Well, now when he can actually read and diagnose and kind of figure it all out, he's going to be even better. I believe here in year number 2. They also add a big-time transfer in Omar Spates at middle linebacker. Those are 2 off-the-ball linebackers, assuming Harold Perkins plays off the ball, where I think they're going to be really, really good. You bring back Greg Penn in the back end as well. You went out. The one question mark that you had is this is a school that has long considered themselves DBU. Now, do you agree with that? That's up to you. I'm not making that declaration. I'm saying that LSU considers themselves DBU. Well, their secondary, not bad last year, but certainly not elite. They go out, they get 4 transfers in the secondary. Who's going to start? Who's going to win those competitions? And will they ultimately be able to lock down those positions, or will it be a little bit of a rotation situation, at least in the first couple games of the season? LSU secondary, they better be ready to roll week 1 because we know Florida State, like we just talked about, has really solid receiver core and an excellent quarterback. If the pass rush is not up to speed, I think it will be, the secondary better be able to lock it down. And if they can't, that could be a difficult game for LSU in week number 1. But like I said, man, week 1, number 5, my number 5 against my number 6 team, that's the matchup you die for there in week number 1.
All right, that's Greg McElroy's thoughts on the upcoming season for LSU. And he's absolutely right. And not to take nothing away from Georgia or Alabama, but there's a new player in the SEC. And LSU's been an interesting team over the last several years, but this rendition of the team under Brian Kelly's tutelage, his ability, his gift to sustain success and to build on top of it. And we realized and knew all you have to do is a very simple philosophy. Just win and you'll get everything. Just win and you'll get the recruits. Just win, you'll get the money. Just win, you'll get the respect. And you have to put him up there with the Kirbys and the Nick Sabans and the guys like that, because at level SEC football is just excellent. So having Coach Kelly here to guide the ship is very positive. So a lot of good things that was said. I don't disagree with anything Greg Mack said on his breakdown about LSU coming to the season. He mentioned Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins is going to be much improved. He's going to be a bona fide superstar in the SEC. He's a big name right now, but I'm talking about going to that next level. Big Mason Smith is back. One of our most dominant interior defensive linemen. One of the major issues LSU faced last year was the fact that, we had issues at the offensive line. They have been corrected. The running back room, he mentioned which one of those guys stepped forward. We are a loaded running back room. So we feeling pretty good there. We understand that whoever it might be, that there will be a back by committee approach that, that coach is going to use to move this team ahead. And we understand that it's going to be a phenomenal year for LSU. Now, remember, we started the year off last year with that loss, and Coach Kelly had to kind of, he had the adjustment of getting everybody on code with his system. Man, listen, all I can say is that I expect a lot. Last year was setting the new floor at LSU, where they showed a magnificent season. We had a few letdowns here or there, but you have a lot of college style veterans. He mentioned Spates. We talk about Jaden Daniels getting a lot more comfortable in Mike Denbrock's offense. We talk about some of the movement of the new coaches onto the staffs, which were improvements. We talked about all of this positive stuff, and now it's the chance for LSU as we draw closer and closer to the season. We're going to see a lot. I expect them to continue to skyrocket. I expect LSU to still be amongst the top in the SEC in terms of vying for that SEC championship. So it just makes it all the more important, all the more special as we get closer to the season. Can't wait, man. So anyway, what do you guys think about Greg McElroy was saying high expectations? I agree with Greg McElroy. Hell, I'm thinking about sending him a LSU hat to wear when he do these broadcasts. He always, he's an Alabama guy, but he shows LSU a lot of love. He keeps it real. I got to give him that. He doesn't, despite the previous histories that he played for this squad, he tells the truth, man. He gives it, like it is, and I respect the hell out of that. So what do you guys think about that? Y'all put it in the comments section. Let me know how y'all feel about what Greg McElroy is saying about those high expectations in year 2. Will LSU meet those high expectations? I expect they will meet these high expectations and take it to the next level, man. The next couple of years will be very special in SEC football. So this year, LSU, for the last of the East versus, East-West thing, they're going to eliminate that after this year. But right now, in that final year of them having it, I'm expecting huge moves by LSU Tigers when the season starts. So with that being said, I'll get out on that. Please feel free to smash the like button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed with other diehard Tiger family members across the world. I'm Big Q. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Go Tigers.